Guys, it's Keith here, and on this video, this session, I want to share something awesome with you. And this is Tigran Gertz, a friend of mine in California. He has a $5 million landscape business. He has a huge media business, and I wanted to interview him specifically because he's literally early 30s. He's got his Lamborghini behind him, and
Here in
we
my
were talking
garage.
in his garage. And he's a very successful guy, and he's organized in his mind. But the thing that's most important is he feels worthy of it. And I wanted him to spend a few minutes sharing with you. I said, "What's it like when you drive your Lamborghini?" He's just drove it this Sunday. He said it's amazing and it feels very deserving. And I wanted you to kind of break that down, your feelings of worthiness. Have you ever felt unworthy in your life? And what were the major shifts inside of your consciousness that allowed you to actually feel like you deserve things and then manifest them into your reality?
So the thing is, like, I want to drive this car every day, but I feel like the more I drive it, the less I get that feeling and emotion of whoa, holy shit. Because every
Can
time
you
I
show
drive,
it real quick? The chair's on the way, just so somehow to show it a little bit.
yeah,
What kind of Lamborghini is it?
it's a Huracan Performante. So this thing it's a
A
very
Huracan?
special. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Performante. So it's a very special edition Lambo. It's not like the run of the mill. It's the ultimate package of Huracan. It's the best Huracan money can buy. And it has a very special color. Just the paint alone was like $40,000, which is insane. And but I want to drive the car every day. However, the more I drive it, the less the feeling of the wow factor goes away. So every time I want to drive it, I really have to ask myself, like, dude, do you really deserve to drive it today? And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. Like a lot of people ask on your first dates when you go out with a girl, do you take your car? The answer is always no. I do not take the car because I don't want to feel like I'm showing off. And as soon as I feel like I'm showing off to impress a girl, I'll get in a car accident. I'll crash the car. That's that's my mindset. And the worst fucking first date you can ever do is take a chick out and then you crash into something or someone crashes into you. I just don't. I never take girls in that car, especially on the first dates. After third, fourth, fifth date, yeah, when there's no more of that like weird tension. But as far as driving the car, only when I feel like I've earned it. That's when I'll drive it.
Okay. That's amazing. So was there a time in your life where you had a scarcity mindset and you felt like having a Lamborghini was so far away that it almost seemed impossible and you don't know how you would get there? Like,
Yeah, last
how,
year. I
what?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to have a Lambo last year. Like last year, I didn't have an office. Last year, I didn't have like management staff. I had one kid that was helping me coaster. He's helping me with YouTube videos. I didn't have tailor, designer. I didn't have a lot of people like project manager. Like I didn't have any of that. Like we weren't doing nearly the amount of work that we're doing now. And it was really quite shocking that I was able to get a Lambo in a year. I didn't think I could do it. Like I was never,
So at some
I
point
never,
in order to have a quantum leap on the outside and outside, you have to have a leap in your consciousness, but also implement actual structures into reality that can have systems, processes, procedures that create value in the real world for others that actually flow cash in an abundant way. That's profit margin, and it has to be stable. So then you can make a decision of something like buying a Lamborghini or upgrading your business. So what was that chasm that you crossed, or what dots connected etherically or in your unconscious mind, or to allow you for that to flow and happen in reality? Can you connect those dots?
yeah. So like if you look at the guy that has a business and he has many people working for him, it'd be okay to have like a car. But if it's just you're a one man show and just having like 10 employees in the field, but you're answering phones, you're doing emails, you're doing this, you're wearing all the hats and you have a car, I think that's a bad use of money. But once you build out a team and you're able to provide money to all those people and provide opportunity for all those people, then it's more deserving. And you're just like, okay, I've done this. The company is like running itself. Very, very little of you is being needed. That's what the word I'm looking for. Like you don't need to be there as much. Like the company runs itself. Then I feel like you can get it. But in the beginning, like let's say my second, third, fourth year in business, there's no fucking way. I couldn't have this car. I didn't earn it.
Oh, what a logical and practical answer. So the car is a byproduct of a lot of fucking really hard work, facing fears, being determined.
Mhm.
You talked about there was so much to unpack in just those few sentences. It was almost profound. Um, you said something before. We did a podcast on the Untrapped podcast, and guys, you can go listen to that episode with Tigran Gertz. But you were saying something. Give me 1 second. So you're talking about being in your own way, and it was so good, and I just lost it. Because what I like to do is when you say something, there's this higher level of etheric value that I want to extract from it. You're talking about running a profitable business, and then the sales.
Like you need to get out of your own way. Is that it?
If it'll come back, it's good. So that's what I love about documenting things, is because you get this epiphany, and if you don't document it, you could lose it. If you document it and take action on it immediately, it starts to flow, and that trickle can become a flow, which can become a flood.
Mm-hmm.
So you've taken actual actions. Now, my question to you is, how are you so comfortable taking so much risk?
Well, I think that, well, not I think, I know the more risk you take, the easier life gets. But you cannot take risk where you go get a loan for $1 million and then you have to pay it back like six months to a year later. I think that is a very foolish thing to do. You have to take risks that are calculated, and the more risk you take, the more risk adverse you are. But you have to take the correct risk. Like if you have the correct head on your shoulder and you have good people in your life and you want to model them, then that is the right way to do things. But some people, they just get too carried away with the things they do. And then that's
Because
when you see a crash.
and Stephen R. Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talks about the PPC balance, the production and production capability. So you can ramp up. Let's ramp up and triple production and sell triple the things and blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have the capacity and the capability and the staff who's properly trained in the systems to fit more things in, you can only do so many things. So you can overwhelm yourself where it's spilling over the sides, and now you're making promises you can't keep, over promising, under delivering, because you're trying to move too fucking fast. How were you able to ramp up the production, and were you systematizing everything? What was it that allowed you to get to the point where it started producing great money and wealth and things like that?
I think the office staff, the office staff is huge. Do you have anyone helping you on the back end?
Yeah. So actually my wife is answering phones and doing scheduling. Then Jill's
Mhm.
office taking the overflow phone calls. Then I have Blue Skies bookkeeping. They're doing all my books for both the media business and landscape business. And then obviously like an accountant and stuff. And then we have a payroll service. So, but I'm still doing a ton of administrative work. I'm stuck in administrative hell. The next step is to hire an office manager. And
Mhm.
then so I can just do sales and marketing. And then in the media business, I just hired my 15th virtual assistant, but they all work part time, and they help me do all types of different tasks. And I don't even know how I would do any of this entire everything. They do the video editing, they automate the podcast, they do marketing, Facebook ads. Yeah, it would be
That's a lot.
impossible to do it myself.
That's what I'm saying. It would definitely be very difficult to do. And once you get the back end office team built out, then that's where you can really scale the business. Because a lot of times when we're in landscaping, we always focus on more crews, more equipment, more tools, more power, more trucks, which you need that. But in order to do all that, how are you going to run it? I don't want to rush it into the ground. Very easy to do that.
So what's the main focal point that you focus on that keeps the ball on top of the,
Pretty much
everything spinning?
efficiency. Yeah, efficiency. Efficiency is a big thing. Having the right tools in place, having the right people in place, and having the right communication in place. Like, where is this supposed to be here? Why is it supposed to go there? And making sure that everyone understands. Because a lot of times the mistakes happen when there's no communication.
So people might be asking, okay, all this makes perfect sense, but where the fuck is the money coming from to pay for all this? And my friend Eric Reno's got a $5 million roofing company. And he said, one time I was really pissed off. I was like, man, I'm making 50 at the time. It was like a 30% net profit. Then I went up to 50% gross profit. But anyways, I said, how are you making all this fucking money? He's like, dude, I make the same profit margins you do. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm just doing way bigger, higher ticket jobs. My average job is 50 grand. What's your average job? I'm like, I don't know, $1,200. He's like, that's the problem. So you're selling big ticket luxury items, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of it, you might make only 10, 20% after all the people are paid for, your office rent, your office manager, all that costs a lot of money. Like, to have someone really good, you're gonna need to pay them $80,000 to $100,000 to have someone that really gives a shit about your company. And at the end of it, after all the salaries are paid for, after your salary, if you're stuck between 10 and 20%, that's fantastic offer. The average percentage for landscape companies is 3%.
You say 3%?
Yeah, look it up. That's the national average. 3%.
Net profit for the owner?
Yeah, after all the bills are paid for, companies profit, landscape businesses profit 3%.
So after they do $1 million, the owner makes 30 grand.
After everything's paid for, after all the salaries, equipment, everything. If you look at, what is it called? What is the biggest company in America? Brightview. Their profit margin is like 1.5%, 2%. But they're doing $2 billion, whatever it is, $2-3 billion.
That's crazy, razor thin margin. So you have a small, very profitable business that you've turned into a machine, and it's efficient. So that's the first thing, is have a business. The next thing, to make a lot of money, sell landscaping. For the most part, it's a luxury service. You sell high ticket luxury items, which is what you do for a living, luxury outdoor living spaces.
Yeah.
In patios, fire pits, pergolas, beautiful things. You're in California. But you also have a media business that you've been able to. Now, just before I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to unbox it properly. My friend Joshua Latimer has spoken on stages all over the country. He's written books. He's got courses. This guy's very successful, and he's a business coach, and he's coached over 1,000 businesses personally, more than that by now. He's coached me. The guy's helped change my life. And he was at an event once, and he got off stage, and some guy came up to him. He's like, Joshua Latimer, you're like famous. Oh my God, can I get a picture with you? And Josh was kind of like weirded out, because he's not like that. He doesn't care about being famous. He's like, how do you? And the guy's like, listen, man, you got your phone with you? What you're going to do is just take it out and open up the camera app and press record and upload it to YouTube, Facebook. It's free. It's free. Anybody can do it. He was like, he just broke it down to the most logical baseline step. So you have taken a phone and then a camera, and then hired a camera guy, and you upload videos to YouTube about what you do. And then you sell online courses, and you have a private membership group and things that. So you've found ways, many, many, many multiple ways and multiple streams of income to monetize every inch of your day, correct?
That's accurate, yeah. And I'm still leaving a lot of things on the table too.
Ooh, like what?
I just feel like I could capitalize on monetizing so much better through Instagram. And there's a lot of people online that sell courses, and they have these like bots on Instagram where they sell. They're not like bots, but they're someone says one thing, and then the program spits out this thing. You have to put all this stuff in.
Yeah, I pay for a mini chat bot, and it's, I think, Facebook and Instagram, and we have all these different paths we've created. I hired a guy to do this, a virtual assistant who's a specialist at creating this, and it has all these different variables, and it talks, and at first it was just trying to like point them to my landing page to sell them shit. I'm like, oh, I want to have a genuine conversation. And then I was so busy because I had so much shit going. I never followed up. So for all I know, the thing's just having conversations with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to close the loop and get it to give them like a free opt-in gift where they get the 7 steps to marketing your business checklist, or the 25-point system, or the 39 documents. So then it pulls them into an email sequence and then sells them an online course, which will be highly valuable for them, which is another way to monetize what you do for a living. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a long loop, but
Yeah, there's many things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. But there's many things that I'm doing now that I couldn't do before. So all grateful, but still never satisfied.
so with how many employees do you have?
Um, with office staff and everyone, probably 25, 24.
So what are the primary roles that you had to play to become so financially successful to get the point where you could buy a Lamborghini? What are the main thoughts going through your head during the day, and how do you deal with adversity?
Mm, well, I don't really know the answer to that, but I I just have a routine. And some people, when they go on like, I know a lot of people, they get very excited to go on vacation, like girls especially. Girls love going on vacation, and I love going on vacation too. But as soon as I'm there for like 2, 3 days, I'm really excited to get back. Like when I'm not back on Monday and I'm not in my routine doing my thing, like going to the gym, coming here, making videos, doing work, doing vids with Bree, doing lots of things like going live and Go King, making videos, then I feel like something is draining. And the more I'm in touch with that, I'm in line with that, the better I feel about myself and the more I can accomplish and the more my self-worth goes up. It's just to me, honestly, I think it's all about production. The more I can produce. Like if I played chess all day and I lost every single time, I'd be so mad. But I get so pumped when I win. Like this morning I woke up and I woke up a little early and I was like, fuck, dude, let's play some chess. I played chess in 5 minutes. I checkmated the dude. I was so happy. I woke up and I was like, yes, good start to a day. Let's go.
You have a highly competitive spirit. So have you ever had thoughts, scarcity thoughts, like, "Oh, I gotta make more money. How the fuck do I do? I gotta, it's not enough. I gotta like these frustrating type of thoughts where there's this gap." Because there's a book by Dan Sullivan called The Gap and the Gain, where you're
Yeah.
either in the gain or you're in the gap. Have you ever felt like you're in the gap and it's so frustrating and you're not making enough money and it's
No, I've actually never felt like that because I came from a place where I made no money. So just the fact that I was making some money, that I was not depending on my parents, I was not like trying to sell weed or sell drugs to pay rent. I was very proud of myself. And
mm,
I didn't really care. I mean, obviously making a fuck ton of money now is very important to me. But in the beginning, I was just so pumped that I didn't need to ask my mom for money, that I didn't need to sell weed to pay rent. I didn't need to fucking do like stupid illegal shit that I'm always looking over my shoulder, paranoid. I didn't need to do any of that. I was just, I was just a landscaping boy. You know what I mean? I was doing some landscaping, getting some money, and improving my life slowly, very slowly. This should happen over 8 years, dude. I'm on my 8th year, and it doesn't happen very quickly. But as long as you have patience, like I wasn't never writing down in my goals, I'm gonna get a Lambo. I was never writing down I was gonna get an office. Like I still have my goal book when I first started the business. One of my goals was to make $10,000 a month in sales. And that was just in sales. That was not even like, I didn't even really care about how much money I made. I just wanted to see if I could actually have people trust me with $10,000. And I could.
okay.
And then next month I was like, all right, 12,000, and then 15,000, 20,000, 25, 30. And eventually now my overhead is $100,000 a month, just overhead plus payroll. Payroll is $60,000 every 2 weeks. So that's $220,000 in just money that has to go out every single month. that.
So are you constantly, do you have a bookkeeper? Are you constantly running finances and checking your bank account statements and looking at spreadsheets? And are you obsessed with the data and the money and tracking
I,
everything in your business?
so the girls do that upstairs. They track very religiously, and they make sure that everything's in order. And sometimes they miss stuff. Sometimes they, like I also check too. Yesterday I checked, and there was like two things. Like a job that was $200,000. It said I made $80,000 on it, and I was like, that's fucking bullshit. I'm like, there's no way. How is that possible? 80 grand on a $200,000 job. There's no fucking way. And upon further investigation, I looked and I looked and I looked. And I'm like, bro, there's a $10,000 charge missing. Where is that? And I look and it's not there. And I go up to them yesterday and they were like, what the fuck? How did we miss that? So sometimes it happens, human error. But, better than not. Better than what I was doing before, where I didn't know anything. I didn't know how much money I was going to make.
So you start out, so you do landscaping. A lot of people here, people that watch this might do landscaping. Depending on whatever you do, if you basically you started out with smaller jobs. Now, how do you get the bigger jobs? Because I'm talking about making more money here and realizing your worthiness. And we just happen to be talking about money with you. Is are you marketing and promoting bigger jobs, or are they just showing up? How are you getting the higher ticket, higher selling
Yeah.
luxury, high ticket items? Where are they coming from? What is your process in marketing?
In the beginning, people always ask, T, how do you get these big jobs? And the truth is that you do all the small jobs. Like, I didn't really care about one of my goals in the beginning. I remember one of my biggest goals was to do a driveway. I've always wanted to do a paver driveway, and I could never close a deal on a paver driveway. Every time I bid on it, customer told me to get fucked. And I was like, damn it. One time I finally closed my first driveway and I was so pumped. I was so happy. And we did the driveway. It was so easy because I know driveways are so easy to do. Easy access, materials are easy. The semi truck just comes in. Everything is so easy. You can't really fuck anything up. It's just a driveway. And getting everything out. And first time I did my driveway, I was so pumped, dude. I was like, bro, I did it. I did my first driveway. And then a bigger driveway came. And then a bigger driveway with a backyard patio came. And then I remember doing one of my first like big paver jobs, was like 3,000 square feet. I was blown away. I charged the lady like $17 a square foot. This was 2016 prices. And they accepted. And I was like so happy. I went at 7, 8 o'clock at night to sign the contract with. So I was so pumped.
And then, so you're taking pictures of it and putting on your Facebook and Google and Google My Business and your website, and you're marketing and promoting these, making sure that when customers look, okay, that they do that. That's what I want to.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Continuously promoting, but also just having a little patience. People get so impatient. They need to have stuff now, but like most of the time you just need to chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out. It will happen as long as you keep working at it. And just know that you want to have, like, if you never paved a driveway before, you've never even done pavers before, and you want to do pavers, just keep that in the back of your mind. Be on the lookout for pavers, because some people mow lawns and they want to get into pavers, and they're like, well, I can't find any paver jobs. Well, bro, you're at 50 lawns you're at 50 customers' houses mowing lawns every single week. Do you think none of those people want a 10 by 10 little patio to put a shed on? Like, you don't even ask. People don't even ask. And once you start looking, you'll find things. I remember there's one saying that will always stick with me. Once you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that, like, that's where it is right there. That's all you need to know. Once you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
So badass. Okay, so who do you look up to? I know that there's somebody you've spent tens of thousands of dollars, if not over 100 grand alone, probably more at this point, just learning from. Like, who are the people that you link up to that you learn from? Who are your coaches and mentors?
Yeah, so Grant is one of them. Obviously, Grant helped me tremendously.
Grant Cardone.
Yep. I haven't seen him in a while, to be honest. Probably like 4 or 5 months. But in what's it called, February, I'm gonna go back and see him again. It's in Vegas this time. You know, the
So
same
you've
thing
been
you
to
went
his
to.
high level, his business groups, mastermind, finance, all of it. Like you've and small, expensive group meetings where he's teaching right there in person, his highest level shit. And the guy's a billionaire, and you're just absorbing and taking notes and letting the mindset permeate your entire being, right?
Yep. And I've been able to sneak myself into the rooms of when they have been, doing talks, business, whatever. But one of the coolest things was like all the programs and courses is all cool and fun, but I don't really learn as much. Like obviously you learn a tremendous amount of information and data, of course. However, what I learned most about the person is just spending time with them. Like I remember one time um he had like this event where people came and he would talk about real estate or whatever. And then afterwards, everybody left. What I did, I wanted to stay there for a long time, but he had like security people and handlers just like ushering people out. Okay, party's over. Thank you very much for coming. You guys can exit this way. So what I did is I took my girlfriend and we went upstairs into this little like bungalow that nobody was at. And I just stayed there for like half an hour. And after everybody left, even after security left, I walked down and they were just getting ready to play poker. And then he's like, "How'd you get in here, man?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Everybody left." I'm like, "Oh, I was upstairs." And he's like, I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "We're playing poker. You got money?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Sit down." So I played poker with him for like 2 hours and I lost $400, but it didn't really matter. The experience was of just being able to sit next to him and just play poker with him and his friends was awesome. And that's where I learned the most from a person, just being able to spend time with them, not in a like course environment. You know what I mean? Just being able to hang out with them. Like go to a fucking beach and just go to a restaurant. Something like that.
That's so amazing. Like iron filings to a magnet, just being around that person, their very energy. You're learning
Mhm.
things on a level that's beyond what the five senses can articulate, not just what you're seeing and hearing, but just being around them. You're absorbing.
Yeah.
It's some etheric thing that I can't explain, but I can attest to that as well. So, but you purposely put yourself in that situation.
Hmm. If you don't show up, like how are you gonna learn? If you don't half half the battle is showing up, you know?
What's some of the other stuff you've done like that you pushed because you wanted to learn, you wanted to get to the next level? How do you take your personal development very serious?
Well, speaking on camera was a very big thing for me. I didn't really understand how to do it before. I didn't really like my voice when I first started doing videos, like way back in the day. I remember I was like 19, 18, and I got a computer and had a webcam just like this one. And I was like, bro, I should make like little vlogs and just like talk in the camera. And I was like, this is a great offer. What a fantastic idea. So I started making like little videos. And within like 5 minutes of watching, I was like, you're an idiot. Like you can't even talk right. Like I hated my voice. I was so judgmental. And I closed the laptop and I'd never fucking made videos again for another 5 years. And that was a mistake. I should have just kept going because no matter what, in the beginning, you always are going to suck. Like this was my first podcast here, but in my lifetime, I've done one with, what's it called? What's the dude's name? I did one at GIE with the outdoor podcast. You know what I'm talking about?
No, Paul
Yeah,
Jameson, Green
I'm not
Industry
sure.
Podcast,
No, it said outdoor podcast. It was they had like a little booth in the at GIE this
Lawn
year.
Care Rookie, Naylor Taliaferro, the
I don't remember. It
six-figure landscaper.
might be that guy. But I did one with him, and then the other one was with the dude Allman, Caleb Allman.
Caleb Allman, yeah, the
Yep.
hardscaping guys.
Yep. I did one with him. That was my first one. So this is my third one. Obviously, when I get to my 10th or my 100th podcast, it's gonna be so much better because I'm gonna have things to talk about. I'm gonna have topics to say. I need to articulate points better because, you know, long format like this is not a thing that's just natural in anyone. If you watch any of the great podcasts, like Joe Rogan, his first podcast was not as good as the podcast it is now. You know, and that's the thing you need to understand. It's just fucking patience. Like you need to eat shit for a while. You need to suck in order to get good. Same with business.
It's I like what you're saying. So what about narrowing your focus? Some people tend to take on way too many different things. They have too many interests. Has narrowing your focus allowed you to really water, you know, and make a couple oak trees grow really big versus trying to water a whole field of grass or
Yes.
something, you know what I'm saying?
So with the whole narrowing the focus, that like it pops in my head, especially in the first, second, third year of business. Like you should not be doing more than one job a year. I mean, one job at a time. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people in Go Game that come in, they're like, and they post videos. I'm having problems with doing this. And I'm like, every single week with somebody, I just pick someone random, someone they're having problems with. And I just want to see what the fuck they're having problems with. Why are they having so many problems? They're so new to business. Why are they having so many problems? And we go live in the group for like 20, 30 minutes. And in the first few minutes, I find out they're running 5 job sites at the same time.
What?
And they have
one crew?
Like, no, there's one person. They have a bunch of things going on and they're running 5 job sites. They might have like 6, 7 people working for them, but they're running 5 job sites. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like 5 job sites, that's insane. And they're not doing them every single day, but one day they're doing this one, next day they're doing that one, next day this one, next day. That is literally suicide. You're going to burn yourself into the ground.
And piss off some customers big time.
And piss off some customers. And like just the managing of funds is so difficult to do in the beginning. That's why focus on the few and not the many. Like do one job really well and make sure you knock that one out until the customer is so happy and you get all the money from that job and use it on that job. And then you move on to the next job. It's the easiest way to stay sane. It's the easiest way to be profitable. And like, you don't hate yourself. Like I can see the person doing the video, like it was a girl and she was so sad. And I told her, I'm like, the reason you're fucked like this is because you're doing many things. You need to chill out. You need to have patience. You have no idea what you're doing to begin with, but you're doing 5 jobs at the same time. That's literally insanity.
But from that person's perspective, maybe they thought that was the way you're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm. But I've always told people, like, as soon as they get in, they get videos, every single video. But like, you cannot do multiple job sites, especially in the beginning, because even like year 3, like you still need to do one job site because when shit goes south, it goes south fast.
Mhm.
You know?
So I've noticed when I watch your videos and you and your business, it seems like your ability to focus on one thing at a time and complete it till total completion. You don't leave loops open. An open loop drives you nuts and you have to close the loop.
Dude, exactly. It's like the studio. Like it was literally driving me nuts. Now, tomorrow I'll wake up and the first thing I'll think about is this fucking ceiling. I'm like, I have to get the ceiling done ASAP. It has to be done. The ceiling has to be done. And like, I just won't stop. And if it won't get done tomorrow, like if half of it will get done, I'll be very antsy. I'll be like, it needs to get done. Ceiling needs to get done.
So we're really, really uncovering this right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see things finished. So Sam Ovens is a consultant. It's like 30 million a year, consulting.com. He said that. But he's a full-blown workaholic, but he does punch out at times and spend time with his wife. And he's very careful at even exposing himself to watching like a movie, like with his wife or something. Because if he'll start a movie, he doesn't want to watch seasons of anything, because anything he starts, he has to finish. And 99% of the time, it's all business. He cannot start something and not finish it.
Dude, so did you see on Netflix, the Jeffrey Dahmer?
No, I can't watch any shit like that, bro. Because I can't watch it.
No, like honestly, I would highly recommend it. Like it's not very long. It's like 8 seasons. So you only commit 8 hours, but it's so good. It's literally like gripping. But stuff like that, yeah, I agree with you. I don't like to watch a lot of documentaries because you get hooked. But that one is very short. One season done. And it was really good. Super good. But I probably have ADD or ADHD or maybe autistic. I don't even know, but I can't focus on two, three things at once. I just need to focus on one thing.
Okay, so then it's like, how do you run a business where you have 25 employees and multiple things going on, and a media business and multiple trucks and trailers and equipment and customers
Yeah.
if
So
you're
if
ADD?
let's say we're doing a bid, right? I can't have Coaster and Cameron in the room talking to me about videos. They need to be away. Like go downstairs, I'll come back. And I cannot be doing TikToks or doing YouTube videos and be focused on doing bids. Like I just need my focus on one thing.
Now, do you book all that stuff out in your calendar, or is it just like
I
some
have a
of it just?
pretty set schedule. So like in the morning, I used to go to the gym very early. I used to be a 5 o'clock in the gym kind of guy, but then COVID happened and kind of fucked everything all up. So then I started doing gym at 7 o'clock in the morning. So now I wake up at 6:30 and I get to the gym around 7 and I'm out of the gym. I'm at the office at around 8 o'clock, work out for like 35, 40 minutes. And then my day begins. So I go hang out with Bree for like an hour, 2 hours, and then I go with the boys, visit job sites. But it's just all every single day is the same shit, which is fun. I like the same shit every day.
Interesting. So I've read 475 books by now, most of them on audible.com while working. But
That's a lot of books, Steve. That's
I think
crazy.
I'm on 477 right now. I'm reading a book by Sam Carpenter called "To Work the System." 15 years into the guy's business, he was banging his head against a wall, trapped, and at the end, he was about to lose everything, go bankrupt. And as soon as he said "fuck it," laying in bed at 3 a.m., sweating, not able to make payroll,
Hmm.
a deep wave of peace came over him. And all of a sudden, he was outside of his business, and he just saw it as a bunch of systems that were all interconnecting and all messed up. He already had systems, but most of them sucked, and he was doing everything. His profit margin, like, so he basically built a multi-million-dollar business and wrote this book, and I'm reading it. It's gripping, and I'm stuck on every page. I can't wait to finish it. So, but there's one book. I don't know if it was Alan or something. Robert Allen, Getting Things Done.
Hmm.
But this guy built like $1 billion business or something. And he said, I attribute most of my success solely on my ability to focus on one thing at a time. And so, what do you mean one thing at a time? You're talking about, no, literally tangentially connected down to one thing at a time. If you're
Hmm.
focusing on creating bids and proposals, that's all you are doing right now for this hour. So,
Hmm.
so let's talk about your ability to divorce yourself from chaos. So if there's chaos, you divorce yourself from it. You don't get caught up in it where you're freaking out whenever you don't, like, you stay calm and objective. So you
Hmm.
divorce yourself from chaos and you objectify it and you eliminate distractions. It sounds like, how do you do that?
Well, if there are any distractions, I just remove myself from those distractions. Like if
You
there's
remove
any,
yourself from the distraction.
yeah, if I can, I'll have the distractions removed. But sometimes that's not the option, so you just remove yourself and you just leave. Like if a place is noisy when you're working and you're trying to focus and you can't stop the noise, so you just fucking leave. Like go anywhere else. Um, but as far as like focusing, I think focus is one of the biggest things. And sometimes I have problems focusing also because the stupid phone, this phone gets me so off track of focus. And literally you open TikTok just to see how your video did. And you're already like 3 videos in. Because as soon as you open TikTok, the video plays like a
You
random
start
video.
playing dumb shit and then you're swiping
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Oh my God, that guy's doing a backflip into a volcano. What the?
Yeah.
And then it's like, your dopamine starts dripping. I get pissed off, dude. I feel hijacked.
I know, but sometimes the videos are so good. And you're like, that was amazing. You're like, but then you realize you're like, fuck, I just watched like 10 videos. That was 10 minutes. What the fuck? And
Yeah, I've pissed away. What
doesn't
my
matter.
pastime is watching planes and pilots and planes taking off and landing. I love aviation and planes.
Mhm.
Dude, I watch a whole video for I've blown 45 minutes watching a video about everything inside of the cockpit of the plane of the 747 and all the intricate workings and how it lands and how it floats, and then
Mhm.
planes barely, like, I don't know why that shit's so amazing and stimulating to me, but it doesn't make me any fucking money.
Right. Who
And then I'll
knows?
bullshit myself and be like, yeah, but I'm taking a break from work by doing this, or I'll just say something so I can keep
Yeah,
watching it.
it's true. It's true. Absolutely. Um, that's where I have to really train myself on being more disciplined. But then another excuse is like, well, my job is social media. But I don't know. Fuck it. Dude, I honestly, Keith, I would love to keep talking, but it's 7 and I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving.
Good for you. Love
Yeah,
it.
I know you haven't eaten either in 3 days, but
Yeah, I'm
I'm
doing a
actually
5-day fast.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, let's end it here. Thanks so much, Tigran, for spending this time. And so, guys, go back and watch this again. There's also an MP3 download so you can listen to it and pay attention to the subtle nuances of what he didn't say. There is so much little tiny gold sprinkled in there, and I really want you to move up and onward and get yourself a Lamborghini one day. This guy definitely knows his worth.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, Tigran. Stay in touch.
Later, brother.
Later.